Absolutely packed Summer House episode today. We have 4 stories from the last 2 days, and they are all connecting in the most fascinating ways. Carl Radke went on Watch What Happens Live and said out loud what a lot of us were already thinking about Wes and Amanda's relationship.
Today we'll be reacting to Carl Radke's stunned after finding about Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson's relationship. Bravo fans are in full detective mode after Carl Radke revealed when he first found out about Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson. The timing of and Carl's reaction and the fan theories are making this one the most hottest Bravo discussions online right now. Let's get back into the video of Carl Radke being stunned by Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson.
Lindsay Hubbard clapped back at a critic who questioned her for wanting to meet up with Amanda Batula. Wes Wilson's ex-girlfriend Maya Morano dropped a comment that broke the internet. And then Sierra Miller followed Meja on Instagram. And honey, we all know what that means. Let's get into it from the top. Starting with Carl Radke, because this Watch What Happens Live appearance was genuinely one of the most revealing things we have gotten from any cast member so far. Carl sat down on the May 12th episode, and he was not holding back. He revealed that about a month before Wes and Amanda even confirmed their romance publicly, he received a text message from one of Sierra's close friends, someone he has gotten to know over time, who told him that something felt weird about what was going on between Wes and Amanda. Carl said he initially brushed it off because he himself had faced false rumors in the past and did not want to assume the worst. But then he started noticing things for himself. He recalled filming Hot Ones in mid-March and saying that as soon as the cameras stopped rolling, Amanda immediately said she was out and left. He described a nervous energy in the room that evening and said that he, along with Mia Colabrese and Lindsay, were all kind of keeping an eye on the situation because the energy was just off. That is so telling when you think about where things ended up. Now, after the romance confirmation, Carl said Wes texted him twice. He said he appreciated the gesture, but that the information just kept piling on. He specifically referenced the whole Jennifer Fessler situation bubbling up and said it just kept getting messier. As for Amanda, Carl confirmed she texted him after the reunion to wish him luck at the London Marathon and suggested they try to catch up at some point. He also mentioned that Lindsay was potentially going to try to meet up with Amanda too, but that he personally was just taking some time for himself before jumping back into those dynamics. And then Andy Cohen asked Carl the big question, do you think Wes and Amanda will last? And Carl did not hesitate. He said, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think we all think that Amanda Batula, Wes Wilson will not be a thing in like another couple of months or even now. We don't even know what's going on right now. We do, but we don't. Carl Radke is finally opening up about the moment he found out about Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson, and fans think his reaction says literally everything, but let's get back to the video.
Flat out, zero hesitation, absolutely not. That is a pretty strong prediction from someone who has been in that friend group for years. Hit the like button if you also think this relationship has an expiration date on it, because I think Carl is telling us something he genuinely believes. Carl also talked about watching the show back, and this part really got to me. He said seeing Wes's hands on Amanda, touching her midriff and her neck, was really uncomfortable to watch, and that you simply do not put your hands on a woman that way when she is in a committed relationship, no matter how friendly you think you are. He said some of the touching, watching it back, is just not okay. And he mentioned that his biggest aha moment this season was watching a beach scene from Mia and Amanda from last week's episode. He said knowing how much Mia truly cares about Sierra and then seeing what Amanda was saying versus what she was actually doing, it was just really disappointing to him. And he added that something in Amanda's energy around Kyle had already started shifting as far back as last spring, even before they started filming. She would be around Kyle, then it was like he didn't even exist to her. A viewer called in to ask why.
So Amanda Batula's been acting strange, okay. So according to Carl, he didn't immediately know what was going on between Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson, but once he started hearing things behind the scenes and seeing stuff and realizing there may have been more happening than people originally thought. Now, fans are going crazy trying to connect the dots. Some people think Carl Radke looked generally shocked, while others think Carl already had suspicions long before this came out publicly, and we see just now that he already saw signs and thought stuff was strange. But let's get back into the video.
Kyle Cook was being framed as the victim in all of this, given how he's treated Amanda in the past, and Carl gave a really thoughtful answer. He said both Kyle and Amanda were going through incredibly difficult things at the same time. He offered grace to both of them. He said, yes, Kyle was not always great. There were moments over the years, late nights out, getting too drunk, but that he doesn't believe Kyle was cheating. He thinks Kyle gets a little loose and is out just meeting random people, and that's not the greatest thing, but it's different from actually being unfaithful. Carl said he knows how hard Kyle tried to make that marriage work, and that some of the ways Kyle has shown up for people, including Carl himself, the audience has never fully seen. Now, speaking of the fight with Kyle, because that dinner table brawl from last week's episode was intense. Carl said he was alone in his apartment pacing and got emotional watching it back. He said he never wants things to get to that level, and he lost his cool in a way that he hasn't since getting sober. He said he loves Kyle, and he let things boil over in a way that he regrets. He also admitted that looking back now, he understands more of why Kyle's energy was so charged that night, because he didn't know at the time about the conversation Sierra had with Kyle on the beach, suggesting that he and Amanda take space. Once Carl found out about that conversation, Kyle's behavior that night made a lot more sense to him. And then there was a little fun moment on the show where someone brought up Bailey Taylor's reaction to Carl going after Kyle, and Carl admitted that Bailey tried to make out with him right after the fight. He said he was too much of a mess emotionally to take her up on it in the moment, but he definitely noticed. I love Bailey's energy so much.
Let's be honest, whenever Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson started training together, Bravo fans instantly assume drama is coming, and the internet has been dissecting every interview and every interaction, every little clue. So I just want to go back to the Carl Radke situation. What makes this even more interesting is how calm Carl Radke appeared while talking about it. Was Carl trying to avoid more chaos, or does Carl know way more than he actually is saying? I feel like he just knew a lot more. But let's get back into the video.
On the after show, Carl was asked directly whether he and Lindsay could ever get back together, and he was clear that ship has sailed. He said he genuinely believes they have a strong bond as friends and that there's a future there as really good friends, almost like co-parenting in a different way. And he actually got to meet Lindsay's 1-year-old daughter, Gemma, this week at a party in New York City. He described watching little Gemma run around as watching a miniature version of Lindsay, and said it was adorable and that he's genuinely happy for her. Now, on to Lindsay herself, because she had to clap back this week, and she did it with class. An entertainment producer, Kelsey McDonald, made a video calling Lindsay out for saying she wants to sit down with Amanda and have a chat. Kelsey basically said, "What are we doing?" And Lindsay responded directly in the comments. She said 2 things can be true at once. Number 1, she is unequivocally on Sierra's side. Number 2, she can also have a chat. And she added that nobody knows what she's planning to chat about, so what exactly is the problem? I thought that was a really elegant clapback, honestly. You can support your friend completely and still choose to have a conversation. Lindsay also appeared on Virtual Reality and explained her mindset further. She said she has a lot of hopes and dreams for what she wants to get out of a sit-down with Amanda. She said there's a lot to discuss: the Sierra situation, the Wes situation, and then, at the very bottom of the totem pole, her own friendship with Amanda.
I definitely agree. She could still sit down with Amanda and be Team Sierra. There's literally no problem with that. I think Amanda already know, if they sit down, she already knows what this conversation is going to be about. It's basically going to be about all Amanda's bad decisions that she's been doing this past forever. But I'm at the video here. Meanwhile, Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson haven't exactly slowed the rumors down either. That's why fans are flooding social media with theories right now. But here's the real question. Do you think Carl Radke was truly surprised, or was Carl pretending not to know the whole time, or he just knew a lot more stuff than he did and just gave us a little crumb? But comment below. See you guys next time.